So what we're going to do today is, we did a test run yesterday. Today's the day we're going to see if we met our constraints. As we're passing out your containers, I want you to turn to your chart, your packet, where it says create, okay? Because this is what you will be filling out, okay? You're going to look, make observations, you're going to pour the remaining water in your measuring cup and see if you measure at least a half a cup of water. Then you're going to answer questions 1, 2, and 3. This is when you really need to think about, did my membrane work? No? Okay. Why didn't it work? What part was my group able to change? Can my group change? Okay, and if it did work, why do you think it worked? Think of the materials that you chose. Was it the materials that you chose? Was it the way that you layered your materials? Okay. As soon as you get your membrane, discuss it with your classmates.
Not even.
We always wait till I have.
You see it. 12 where the 1/2 is. In 4 is 12 where is it?
The sponge work well. The sponge in this work well. I don't think those cotton balls are.
Cotton balls is soaked up.
Yeah, it's soaked up. See, yeah.
Why do you think the sponge works well? Because it absorbs. It absorbs the water, and then it like drops some out, like drip by drip.
Okay.
And like the cotton balls just soaked it up, as you can see here. It just soaked it up, and barely didn't drop none at all. If you see, it just drops a little by little.
Okay. Daniel, what did you say about the coffee filters?
The coffee filters is soaked it up, and it went through it because it's like this is like paper kind of.
What do you mean by is? Explain it to me.
It like got wet and like dripped it because this is like pretty much like a paper kind of way.
Okay.
And if it could like tear easily.
So do you think that the coffee filter absorbs some of the water?
Yeah. And let it through.
The questions that I'm going to ask you are, and again, pick one person, or you guys could take turns in your group, but I want you guys to tell me whose design worked well, who didn't work well, and if they did not, why? Okay, because you know that's my favorite question. I like to ask you why. You just can't say yes, no, or the answer. So, first question, did your design work?
Yes.
Yes, your design worked. Okay, what part of your design do you think worked the best?
Coffee filters because the water is really thick.
Okay, so the coffee filters worked best because the water was able to go through. Is there anything in your design that you felt didn't work that well?
The cotton balls.
Why the cotton balls?
Because they didn't really do anything.
For you, they didn't do anything in your design. Does your group agree? In your design, maybe? Okay. Do you think maybe they didn't absorb the water, or maybe the placement of the cotton balls? Alexis, what was that?
They were standing up.
They were standing up, so it's the placement, maybe where you placed the cotton balls didn't work for your design. Okay, that's interesting.
My design, we had like 10 coffee filters, 1 sponge.
What worked?
The coffee filters,
Why?
because the coffee filters was like holding the water up, and then like the sponge was like at the bottom of the hole, so like the water can observe the sponge.
The sponge could absorb the water. It was at the bottom and the coffee filters. Okay, so kind of the way it flowed. Now with your group, knowing what you know at the materials that you've worked with, knowing how your designs, worked with the materials that you use, I want you to think, how would you improve your design? You had the last page, which is improve. Okay, so it's no longer a half, you're looking at a quarter. So what I want you to do is, I want you to draw your design, same way we did for planning. You're going to draw your design, you're going to label, and then you're going to list the materials.
I think we should use like, I think we should use cotton balls, because the cotton balls didn't do nothing.
Just hold the water.
Cotton balls didn't do anything. It just absorb water as you see. Because if we put the aluminum foil on the bottom, like the coffee filter,
We can't make the hole too big.
so we put in one foil.
One hole in the front.
I have a question. Is your design, is it looking like the old one? I know.
Because
Because
it dropped more than a quarter.
What happened?
More than a quarter.
It dropped more than a quarter? Okay. So what are you doing to your design? Are you taking anything away or you're adding?
we're taking away the coffee filters and the cotton balls because we noticed that it did not.
Okay, so are you okay? So if you're taking the coffee filters and the
Cotton balls.
combos out, but what are you adding?
2 sponges and 1 more foil.
Okay. You guys all agree with this?
Yeah.
Aluminum foil?
Yeah.
Like 3 minutes.
I'd say 2.
But I want to see materials list just
What did
the
you
same
guys-
way you did the
What did you guys
planning.
come up with?
I want the materials list as well.
Come up with 20 coffee filters and 2.
Okay, as a group, you all have to talk about this. You all have to agree. There's not just one person. Each person has a say on the ideas, and then based on when you want, if you want to choose more coffee filters, you have to explain to your group why you want more coffee filters.
What step? Because we just said 5 steps. We asked, we imagined, we planned, we created, and now we just improved. I want you to think of which step of the engineering design process do you think is the most important? Don't tell me. This is with your group. With your group, I want you to decide on what step you think was the most important.
Keep all your lists in order. Get all your ideas. So you don't have to put
And when you're done, I want to see signals.
be able to keep your order instead of just starting it and then when you're starting it you forget. And like so
Just to have your materials in order.
I think plan because like,
if we didn't have plans, you wouldn't get to it.
exactly it wouldn't have been like the way it is now.
So it's interesting because I'm not gonna lie, I walked around and I heard a couple of different reasons, a couple of different steps that you guys found the most important. This group up here, Saturn. What did your group decide on was the most important step?
We said plan because you have your materials and you have your steps in order.
Okay, planning because you have list your materials and you have your steps in order. Did anyone agree that planning was an important step? That group back there, Mercury, you guys agreed that planning was the most important? Okay, and Neptune, you guys agreed that planning was most important? And this group, you guys have something different. What did you think was the most important step? Improving, why? Because if it's messed up, then it's kind of just stays either messed up or it doesn't work. You could make things better. But my question is there really one step more important than the other? No, they're all equally as important because if you don't ask questions, you don't know what you're doing. You don't know what the point of the project is. You don't know what your constraints are, what needs to get accomplished. If you don't imagine, you don't have all your ideas that you could choose from. Okay? If you don't plan, you don't have things in order, you don't have the listening materials, there's a possibility that you could skip a step. If you don't create using your plan, you won't have an actual project or an actual, whatever it is that you're working on. And if you don't improve, you'll get stuck. Things will stay like that forever. And as long as you're improving, you're just making things better, making things better. I hope that they, learn the process, the different steps, why it's important to follow the process. But also, I hope that they learn that, their initial design could be wrong. And it's okay. I like that because it also helps with the self-confidence because they actually take this into all the other classes. They'll sit there and say, okay, no, I messed up here, but I know what I could do to fix it. So it kind of, it definitely transfers into like all the other subject areas.